Hi, it's Lori from Coast to Coast Craft Girls coming to you from the West Coast. Today I wanted to share a really fun kinetic card with you. As you know, I love cards that move and do things and that are kinetic. And this is using the Cosmic Collection. I saw this card shape and I thought, this is perfect for the Cosmic Collection. So when you open it, you get all that movement. Isn't that fun? It's actually super easy to do and it goes together really fast. So let me show you how it's made. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to start with the card base. This is a 12 by 12 and then scored in the middle, so it's a 6 by 6 card base. And then I took a nesting die and just cut a circle right out of the middle of it. This nesting die is 4.5 inches across, and just cut a circle right out of the middle. And then I took the circle that came out, this is the circle that came out of there, and I took a smaller nesting die that's 2 3/4 inches. So 4.5 inches, 2 3/4, and cut like a little donut. And you're going to need that. And you're going to need to keep the small circle, the 2 3/4 inch circle that came out of the middle of that. We're going to use all of those. Then cut one separate circle that's 3 3/4, so a medium sized. It's kind of halfway in between. And we're going to use that as well. So those are the 3 nesting dies that we need. So this is 4.5. Cut that out of there. So it was like this. And then 4.5 inch circle with a 2 3/4 inch circle out of the middle of that. There. And then a 3 3/4 inch circle there. And I cut it all out of white cardstock. I'm going to use patterned cardstock, but I cut it out of white because I think it's easier to see and it gives me some rigidity. So those are the circles that I need. And then we need the mechanism in the middle, but I'm going to go ahead and mat and layer my cardstock first, and I'm using the Cosmic Collection. This is just one of the 12 by 12 sheets, and I just cut a piece that was, or 2 pieces that were like 5 3/4 by, or just over 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. Put that same circle in the middle because I want to cut it out. So there's the front, and then I'm going to go ahead and mat and layer the inside. I didn't use, I just used the one piece of paper. I didn't use a matte layer underneath it because with the white, I think it's fine. You can do different. I've seen this card shape used with florals or whatever. It's just kind of a fun card. So put that in there. And you definitely want to mat the inside of the card before you start working on the rest of it, because you got to put the mechanism on the inside of the card and you want it on top of there. So there's my card base. Then I took that same card pad and I cut those same two circles, so the donut and the small circle, and I'm just going to put those on there. And I could have just not done the white, but this gives it a little more rigidity and it's also a little bit easier to see. So, and since I was cutting it out of the card base anyway, I already had the white circles. So we're just going to lay that on there. And these are exactly the same size, so there's no little white showing, which is actually what I want, because I kind of want it to look like outer space. You'll see why in a minute. Now on the 3 3/4 inch circle, I cut a piece of just dark blue cardstock, and then I used the Cosmic stamps. So I used this one and then the Over the Moon for You sentiment in, and stamped it in silver, and I'm just going to put that on that middle sized. Now on the small one, I'm going to put the moon right in the middle of it. And this is, again, from the Cosmic Collection. It's this stamp, and I just stamped it on some gray, I think it's anthracite Central Pearl, and then die cut it out with the die that belongs to it. And I'm just going to put that on. Okay, so there's that. And then I've got some other things that I'm going to use to decorate, but I'm going to wait on that. So now while that glue is drying, I'm going to work on the mechanism that goes in the middle. Now this piece of paper, I'll leave it there if you want to screenshot, but it's 4.5 by 5 inches. And then you score at 3/4 along the 5-inch side. So just like that, this is scored at 3/4, 1.5, 2.25, and then 4.25. So you got a 3.25 or 3/4 inch here, and then 3 3/4 inches there. Then you turn it, and this is 4.5, and you score it in thirds, so 1.5 and 3. Okay, and then I marked, we're going to cut these away, and we're going to cut half of each of those. So that's what that pencil line is. It kind of measures half in there. And then you score from here, this corner to this corner, and that corner to that corner. So an X there. So let me go ahead and trim those away, and then I'll show you. So just trim on the score lines. Okay. So I'm going to fold and burnish these, and then I'll set it down and let you see it. And then we're going to and then, so it looks like that. Okay. And then we're going to kind of push these in, so you make that little, like a little house. Okay. Just like that. And these should be straight down. And then these, we're going to glue underneath, and we're going to go ahead and, you could trim those off if you had heavy wet cardstock, but this, if you just glue them down, it gives you a little bit more rigidity, which is good. So we're just going to put some glue on these longer sections. Just fold them in and glue them down. And then we've got our mechanism. Okay, goes just like that. Now this is going to sit right in there, and we're going to glue this tab to the front right here. So depending on how big your circle is, you can see that that's going to fit just perfect. I've got just enough room. If there's not quite, in fact, I'm going to trim just a little bit off just to make sure that you don't see it. So we're going to lay that in there in the middle, and then we're going to put glue right here, close it, press it down so it's attached to the to this side of the card, not to this side. Okay. So let's put some tacky glue on there. So try to get it right in the middle. And I'm going to measure. So that's right in the middle. And we're going to close this and just stick that to the front. Okay. Perfect. Now we're going to take our sort of donut and we're going to put it in, and we want that mechanism to go underneath it. So we're going to slide it in like that, and don't hook it to anything yet. We're just going to leave it like that. We're going to put some glue on here, and then we're going to shut this and glue that tab to the bottom. Okay, so put your circle on. So looks like that. Then we're going to put glue just on this tab, just this piece right here, not these, but just that little tab right there. And then leaving that circle underneath there, not glued down to anything. We're just going to close the card and glue that tab. Okay. And now you can start to see the mechanism working. So then this circle is going to glue onto, you kind of line it up, and then you're going to glue it onto the mechanism on this bottom tab. So the easiest way to do it, let me line up, I want the paper to kind of line up when it's closed, since it was cut out of that paper. So it's going to go like that. Let's go ahead and put some glue on this tab right here, just at the end. And now, see how that works? It spins as it opens. Now we're going to take our moon and we're going to put underneath there, and we're going to glue it to the top tab up there. And you want to make sure that when it's closed, it fits inside the card. So you want to kind of glue it so you can put, it's kind of hard to show you, but you're going to put some glue right here on this edge. Okay. Put this in right up against the inside fold and the top. Push the card down. And see how now the moon comes up? And then you can lift that up to kind of push it down and make sure you don't have glue, because you want to make sure that the glue that you put on to glue your moon down didn't stick to the inside donut circle. Otherwise your spinning mechanism is not going to work. But see how that spins? Now we're going to cover up that whole center with this one. And we're going to put that right in there. And we're just going to line it up on the edge, because we want to cover up that that white. Now you could make the mechanism, I guess, out of the patterned cardstock or out of blue, but I'm going to put some decoration on here anyway, so I actually don't want I don't want to, put it out here and cover that up because I actually want, I guess you can. Actually, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to do that. I take it back. I'm going to go ahead and create and get a piece of blue cardstock to cover that up. So if you want to cover that up, it's just about 2 inches by 1.5 inches. So we're just going to cover that white with that piece of blue. And on this end, it doesn't really matter because it's going to be covered up with my sentiment circle. And then I'm going to center that sentiment in there, right about there. And you could put it on foam pads if you wanted, but and you can put it, just glue it right onto here. And actually you can glue all the way out to this corner because that doesn't bend. Just center it up where you want it. Press it down. And now here's your mechanism over the moon for you. Now we're going to decorate the inside. So I've got some planets that I cut. This is from the Cosmic Collection, the die. And I've got some stars. And then I cut just some mirror card in different colors. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not, but we'll see. So I'm going to stick this kind of on here. So first we're going to glue this onto the mirror card. So it's got a ring like Saturn. And then when it's open, I think I want it down here. So I'm going to put some glue on that part of the ring and on that edge. And just make sure when you're gluing it that you're only gluing to that sort of donut circle and that you're not gluing it, getting any glue underneath on the paper down here, because then that will keep it from rotating. Nope, that doesn't work and if you see what I did, when it goes down here, it's got to stay inside you want it inside the card. So when it's closed, I don't care if it hangs out when it's open, but when it's closed, it needs to be inside the card. So we're going to put it down here. So position it for when it's closed. And then when it opens, see it move? Now with these, you can do, you can kind of put them wherever because they're smaller, and I'm not sure I'm going to use those. I don't really like those. We'll use the stars. don't think I'm going to use those. And that's it. I mean, it's actually a pretty easy card to make. And I think it's perfect for the Cosmic Collection. So Over the Moon for you. And when it opens, your planets and stars and moon comes flying out. I feel like it needs something on the front. So I think I'm going to maybe put some little gems or something. Actually, I should cut some more stars. That's what I should do. There. Yeah, I like that. So Over the Moon for you. And then it opens up and there's, isn't that fun? Hope you enjoyed that.